Hi, my name is Saraiva and I'm a PhD student from the University of Lisbon. I'm here to present my work entitled Multiyear Impact Analysis and its Contribution for Wine Sustainable Production. So, wine is a very important economic sector with a global trade of around 30 billion euros. And as we know, it's a weather-dependent activity resulting in high fluctuations from year to year in the amount of wine produced. If we want to achieve a climate-neutral economy by 2015, as proposed by the European Commission, we will need to improve the environmental performance of our wine production. If we consider that there are a lot of variability in the wine production from one year to the other, and that some authors already stated that there are a considerable annual variability in the environmental performance due to the variability on the amount of wine produced, we can hypothesize that a multi-year analysis can be more effective in defining strategies to reduce the environmental impact of wine industry. The objective of this work is therefore to evaluate the effect of annual versus pluriannual analysis, to identify hotspots along the wine production processes, and to define strategies for wine environmental impact reduction. In this work, we are basing the impact assessments on water and carbon footprint evaluation. It's also important to state that this work is being developed within the PhD scholarship that is granted by the Universidade de Lisboa and Instituto Superior de Agronomia. Regarding methodology, we start by the definition of the study of objectives, then we go for the system boundaries and the functional unit. We construct a questionnaire to support the life cycle inventory, and we select a case study that was willing to share all the data and that we based this study on. And after that, we perform the inventory data gathering and on-site monitoring. Then the construction of the LCA model was set on CIMAPRO software, and this was already carried out, and we are still validating our inventory data, and we will focus on the analysis of the results obtained for the main impact indicators, identification of hotspots, and perform some scenario comparison. The objective of this study is to identify strategies to reduce wine environmental impact. To do this, we found a medium-sized winery, Companhia das Lesírias, with an average production of 600,000 liters per year, and that is located almost near Lisbon. For the system boundaries, we used a cradle-to-gate approach. Regarding the functional unit, we selected the 0.75 liter wine bottle that is commonly used in our cradle-to-gate approach. The system boundaries include the viticulture, vinification, and bottling packaging phases, leaving outside the distribution and bottle disposal. The construction of our LCA model will be performed on CIMAPRO software, and we will perform the life cycle inventory based on direct measurement and eco-event databases. And after that, we will perform an uncertainty analysis with Monte Carlo simulation, with all the already referred system boundaries from cradle to gate. As referred previously, this is a work that is still being developed and in which we don't have the final results, but I can show you some preliminary results that we believe to be interesting. So regarding the amount of wine produced, we focused our study from 2017 to 2020, and what we can see is that in fact there are a lot of variation in the amount of wine produced. From 2017 to 2018 we have a reduction of 30%, and from 2018 to 2019 we have an increase of almost 20%, and in 2019 and 2020, in fact, we have a similar value. What we can observe is that as it is expected, we have a lot of variability between the different monitor years. So then we try to analyze some performance indicators. In this case, for the electrical performance indicator, we can see that there are no correlation between the amount of wine produced and the amount of electricity that is being consumed. If we look for the water performance indicator, we can see that the amount of water that is being consumed looks like to be linked to the amount of wine that is being produced. Regarding the preliminary LCI results on carbon footprint, we can see that the bottling and packaging is the production phase with the greatest impact of around 72%. This is followed by the viticulture with 16% and vinification with 12%. In terms of emissions, this results in an overall value of 0.39 kg CO2 equivalent per wine bottle. If we take a closer look to bottling and packaging phase, once it is the wine production most impactful production phase, we can try to see what is contributing the most to this overall high impact. And in our case, we can see that the packaging glass has the most impact, followed by the bag-in-box and corrugated board box. So what we can see is that overall the packaging consisting in packaging glass, packaging bag-in-box and corrugated board box contribute with almost 90% of the impact of this production phase. And if we take a closer look, we can see that just the glass packaging is responsible for 62% of the overall impact of this production phase, followed by the bag-in-box packaging with almost 20%. Overall, we can see that the glass bottle is the highest contributor for the wine global impact, with a value of 44%. And the second highest contributor is the bag-in-box with 13% of the overall impact. So what we tried to do next is to go and look for the average weight of the 0.75 liter bottle that is being used by our case study. Considering the high impact of packaging glass, then we try to make a small exercise and see what can be done to reduce this overall high impact. And for our case study, the most used 0.75 liter bottle, it's a bottle with 410 grams of glass. So what we did next, we went to the glass provider and tried to find a sustainable bottle that could reduce this. And in this case, we found a new environmentally friendly design with 375 grams. So this results in an 8.5% lighter bottle that could save almost 16 tons of glass per year. If we consider this in terms of CO2 equivalent emissions, we have the potential to avoid the emission of almost 13 tons of CO2 equivalent. So regarding the next steps, we are finishing the validation of the LCA inventory. We will then perform a comprehensive life cycle impact assessment. We will make the uncertainty analysis with Monte Carlo simulation. We will then try to identify hotspots along the wine production process and define strategies, like this example that I showed you previously, for wine environmental impact reduction. Please feel welcome to contact me. Thank you for your attention.